So we're currently on break, on hiatus between seasons. And one thing that's not on break, though, is the Academy gathering up their minions to figure out who's going to be nominated for these awards. And one category that Jake looks very closely at, and I look almost as closely at, is the award for Best Animated Feature. And we just got done doing our animated season. And there's a bunch of movies out right now that we've been watching because they are eligible to be nominated, and many of them, most of them, will not even come close to having a whisper's prayer of being nominated for an Academy Award. But we watched them anyway, a few of them. So Jake, in any order, bring up one of these movies. I think people don't know a lot of these exist.
Yes, there are 35 films on the list this year, which is, I think, the most that have ever been on the list. So animation just keeps growing and growing. But yeah, there are a lot of films on this list that, us as two savvy filmgoers and two filmgoers interested in animation in particular have not heard of. You said you want to run through the whole list here real quick?
Well, let's just go through the ones we've seen.
Yeah. A couple
of
I know you have seen Arco. Tell me about that.
I love Arco. I'm happy to talk about that a little bit. Actually, it's funny. I mentioned this on my other podcast, Flooping the Pig, because that's also an animation podcast. Yeah, I saw Arco. It's really cool. It's a French film by Hugo Bienvenu, who people might know if they're huge MCU fans, because he did a series of very short animated shorts about Ant-Man in a very distinctive style. And that style carries over into Argo, which is about a boy from the future who travels back in time accidentally. He lives in a future where everyone lives in tree houses, basically up high, because it's above the pollution of the world. They're letting the world recover. And he goes back in time to a time when people are living in sort of like bubbled houses and the climate is getting very dangerous. And it's a story about him and this little girl who he meets, and she feels very removed from her parents. They do this really cool trick in the English dub. I mean, they do this trick in both dubs, but I know the actors in the English dub. They do this really cool trick where Mark Ruffalo and Natalie Portman play her parents, and then she has this robot guardian, and the robot guardian's voice is both of their voices. And it's kind of just like a coming-of-age story about these two kids. The plot's a little light, but I thought it was great. And whenever I saw it during the 1 week that it did in New York to qualify for an Oscar, and when it gets on streaming, I highly recommend people check it out.
Yep, I'll definitely be watching it then. The next one on the list I know we've both seen is The Bad Guys 2. What a fun movie. What a great time.
I liked it more than the first one.
Yeah, I like him about the same. I might have liked the first one more, but it was pretty close for me. Yeah, I like the cast of these movies, and I like the heisty nature of it. Like, yeah, it was a good time.
The thing that bothered me about the first one, I was able to get over in the second one. It's still an issue. Maron talks about it. Mark Maron, he plays Snake, and he talks about how he showed up and realized that everyone was just doing their own voice, but he does a voice to play Snake. He's like, I thought people in cartoons did voices. So Snake kind of talks like this, even though that's not really Maron's voice. But it kind of works here, and also the character's not as prevalent in this movie. I like the plot a lot, and we mentioned this in our 1970s episode with Kevin Ford, but these are very influenced by Lupin III. And now that we're so steeped in Lupin, that's a fun thing to bring to it. And yeah, it was just a blast. I really enjoyed it.
Very fun. Also, another blast that we've both seen, Boys Go to Jupiter, from Julian Glander. Tell me again why this movie was, because I remember you months before it came out salivating over needing to see this movie. So tell me again about why you wanted to see it so bad.
I don't know when it was, but at some point I stumbled onto his short films and I watched all of them. And I'm like, this guy is deranged and I love it. And I like his lo-fi vibe. It's kind of like a nerdy hipster type deal going on, and a little bit of the vibe. Actually, I wasn't sure if you would like it at all, because at times it reminded me of Juno, even a little bit like Napoleon Dynamite. It's really quirky, heavy on the quirk, but I love the voice cast. Jack Corbett is the lead, and I know him from TikTok and Instagram, basically, because he does these Planet Money videos about the economy, and they're very funny. And he was the perfect, very flat affect voice to play Billy 5000, I think the character's name is, of the 5000 family. Looks like a Super Nintendo game. A Nintendo 64 game. He didn't want to do walking cycles. He didn't want to have to constantly be animating the character's feet moving. So every character has a different way of moving, mostly on a skateboard or a Segway, or there's this old lady who just waddles. It's the fun. The theater went crazy. So I loved it. And I saw that you were a little more lukewarm on it, but still liked it, which was a relief.
Yeah, I think you gave it 4 stars. I gave it 3.5. It was just a weirdly entrancing kind of movie where I was just I was really sucked into just the way, definitely heavy on the quirk, but not quite so like Juno is just kind of just that kind of rat-a-tat, kind of an updated version of the way they talked in the 1930s, but just in a very 2000s, updated to that sort of way. And this was not like heavy on the quirk, but just a slower, softer kind of quirk. And yeah, I don't know what it was about these guys. It was just like, man, these guys are just cool. I'd like to, I'd hang with these guys and talk about Gatorade and, who invented it, but nobody did. Nobody invented Gatorade. It's a liquid.
Right. It's like milk. Nobody invented milk. Nobody invented Gatorade.
Milk. Yeah. I mean, it stands to reason. So, I really enjoyed it. It was a cute, quirky little movie. No shot at getting nominated, but I'm glad I saw it.
But it did get nominated for an Independent Spirit Award.
It is nominated for an Independent Spirit Award. Yes, it's up for the
John Cassavetes Award.
Yeah, the Cassavetes Award, which is one of the non-voting categories. So I won't get to vote for it, but I'm stoked that it's getting recognized, for anything. Yeah,
very cool. That's for movies made for under $1 million. Yep. And so I hope he gets to make more movies. It took him a long time to make this. It'll probably take a long time for another, if he's even interested in doing that. I know he made this into a video game. We'll see what he does next. I think this guy is super talented.
Another one we've both seen came out really early in the cycle. Dogman, back from all the way in January. Cute little DreamWorks movie, about the Dogman books series. My kid read them a lot when she was younger. It's fun. It's a really enjoyable movie. There's some really funny parts in it. Again, the voice work is pretty good. Not a classic or anything, but I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah, I like that DreamWorks does a different animation style for the movies that are based on Pilkey books. So like this and Captain Underpants. I'll say this for the movie. I also liked it. Didn't love it, liked it. I fell asleep in the theater, not because of the movie. I was just tired. And it's the kind of movie where you can fall asleep for 5 minutes and it's fine. You can pick right back up.
Yeah, you can figure it out. Yeah. Also, I'd say no shot at getting nominated.
No.
Another one we've both seen is pretty widely available now is Pixar's Elio, which came out this summer. And we've talked about it on the podcast before a little bit in season 2. I thought it was pretty good. It's been said ad nauseum in many other places. Pixar is not a guaranteed home run anymore. And I wouldn't call this movie a home run either, but it's a solid movie. It's got a good shot at getting nominated because it's Pixar. I mean, they've done that before, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that one get in. But yeah, I liked it, and I'd probably like to watch it again one more time.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'd say to use your metaphor, it's a double. Solid double. Pixar has now released 29 feature films, and I ranked that at number 21 to go back to our Pixar ranking episode.
Yeah, I didn't slot it in there, but that would probably be pretty similar to there, maybe a little higher, but pretty close to that.
I have it just above Onward.
Yeah, that sounds fair. Oh boy, the next one that's on the list that we both saw, and why this is even on the list, why this was even submitted for consideration, is Genndy Tartakovsky's Fixed, which invaded Netflix a couple of months ago and is just a rotten experience in every possible way.
Yeah, I'd call it an anti-movie. I was really upset watching it in much the same way that I was upset watching Freddy Got Fingered when I was much younger, but at least Freddy Got Fingered had a point of view. Like Tom Green wanted to make you feel bad, and that's not Tartakovsky's mission. So I don't know what this was. I mean, I do know what it was. It was Ren and Stimpy was popular. Can we do that again? This was not Ren and Stimpy, I'll tell you that. Yeah, this was abysmal, and I'm really upset because I'm a big fan of a lot of what Tartakovsky does. In fact, I'm even excited for his next project. Before this, his worst thing was the Hotel Transylvania movies, and even they don't come close to as
no, those are fun. I actually kind of like them. Again, my kid was really into them when she was younger, so that probably colors my perception of them. And I've seen them a bunch of times, but yeah, this was just abhorrent. And the jokes are so painfully unfunny, and they're the same jokes kind of over and over again, and they're it's crude for the sake of it's just one of those movies that's incredible that it got past the number of people that it needs to get past to become a movie. Without someone saying, "Hold up, this is not good."
Well, it took him a very long time to get it made. This is something he's wanted to do forever.
Ugh.
And yeah, I know, just to go off of you enjoy Hotel Transylvania, Adam Devine, who I like, enough. He's no Adam Sandler.
No.
Or Andy Samberg for them.
Andy Samberg, yeah.
Like the voice cast for the Hotel Transylvania movies are quite good.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, David Spade and Kevin James and Chris Rock, all of Sandler's friends, the grown-ups cast basically, plus Andy Samberg and Selena Gomez.
This year has been kind of, in my opinion, an abysmal year for Idris Elba. He's not funny in Fixed. I think he's really miscast in House of Dynamite. Yeah, wow.
He and John Cena had that movie though, where he's the prime minister and John Cena's the president.
I did not see that film.
Heads of State. It's streaming on Prime. You'll love it.
I'll have to check it out. I realized today because one of Batista's action schlock movies just came out on streaming. So now I have 6 Batista movies to catch up on. I'm sort of losing track of that. Yeah. So I need to get back on it before I do any Cena stuff.
Dude, you got to get on that. Well, picking it up just a little bit, you haven't seen this one, but I did watch Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, which was a surprise to see on the list because it looked like it was going to be more live action than animated. I don't know the exact percentage of the movie. I know it has to hit 75% to qualify. So I feel like it was probably over that or close enough, but whatever. This movie was very much made for children. single digit children. So it's like hard for me to critically judge it as something that it's not intended to be. I think it's for kids and it's going to be fun for them. As an adult, I was okay with it. I kind of had it on in the background while I was working, doing some other stuff. And then I heard the main antagonist of the movie is like, hello, that's Jason Mantzoukas. And of course, he's hilarious in the movie, and a lot of the things he says are hilarious, and it totally elevated the experience for me. I mean, I'm not recommending the movie, like, you know, if you absolutely love Jason Mantzoukas and have to see, like, everything he's a part of, go nuts. But, like, it's nothing, but if you happen to see it with your kids, like, you'll get a couple of yucks out of it. There's some pretty funny lines in it.
As long as we're talking about Mantzoukas, let's talk about A Man on the Inside, because I saw a tweet that said, I don't believe that Michael Schur is writing any lines for Jason Mantzoukas. I think he just puts him somewhere and says, speak.
I agree. I believe that 100%.
And that's how you end up with a classy guy like you without any hay. But I realized that for me, this season, there was a direct correlation between how much I enjoyed the season and how much Jason Mantzoukas was in it. And he disappears in the last few episodes, kind of inexplicably, which really bummed me out.
Yeah, that was a bummer. I really liked the relationship he had with the detective's mom.
And Ted Danson. Everyone had good chemistry with him.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he has good chemistry with everybody. I mean, I texted you. I busted up when they're talking about their favorite band, their favorite color, and their favorite number. And goes, you know, of course, my favorite band is Maroon 5. My favorite color, maroon. My favorite number, 1,000.
Right. And my line from that episode was, oh, you have to try this. It came to me in a harrowing nightmare. So the way you positioned it, though, like now I kind of want to watch Kathy's Dollhouse just to see what he has to say.
Well, you can. It's available to you.
Also, I like have this thing where I do want to watch every DreamWorks animated movie, and I just don't know if this really counts, but whatever. What does it hurt? I'll just pop it on one day.
It's 90 minutes. I mean, what else are you going to do?
You know what? I'm going to Michigan this weekend. I'll see if my sister wants to watch it.
Yeah, there you go.
She's 9. That's single digits.
Yeah, she might like it. Speaking of movies that she might like, oh, wait, we got to do In Your Dreams first. Although she might like In Your Dreams, too. But In Your Dreams, the Netflix movie that just came out a couple of weeks ago, kind of a big letdown.
In Your Dreams would have been really cool if, like, 50 other animated movies didn't exist, right? Yeah. It's just, like, really derivative. It's really rote. It actually feels really repetitive as it goes on. It's like they're asleep, they're awake, they're asleep, they're awake. The plot does not feel propulsive at all. And I didn't think the voice work was good. And I found the animation creepy, actually. Like the voices didn't quite match the lips for a lot of the characters in the right way. And I thought the faces looked unfinished in some of the scenes. So this was a pass for me. I gave it 3 stars because it's like, it works. Like as a movie, it like gets you to the end. I wasn't miserable, but it made me feel real nothing.
Yeah, I think I'd heard that it was like an Oscar contender, so I was like, oh, hopefully this one's good. And Netflix has scored with a couple of good ones, you know, like one we're going to talk about in a second. But they even have, I famously on this podcast don't like Christmas movies, but Netflix had a movie called Claws that came out a couple years ago with J.K. Simmons and Jason Schwartzman that I thought was terrific. And there's a couple other examples of this, like the next one we have, KPop Demon Hunters, which was done by Sony Animation, but generally released on Netflix. I think people kind of think of it as a Netflix movies because it's been pretty associated with that release. But I've seen it twice. I watched it once at home, and then my wife and I got to see one of the sing-along showings at the end of the summer. I think this movie's terrific. It's a lot of fun. The songs are catchy. It's just something, another one for the kids to get really, really attached to. I mean, there were kids in the screening that we saw it at who were definitely not reading the lyrics because they were not old enough to read or read that fast, and they knew all the words to the song. Yeah. It was so much fun.
It's a sensation. So Sony, I was about to be like, Sony kills it with these movies, but Sony also made Fixed. So can't get too excited about it. I thought K-Pop Demon Hunters was pretty good. I thought the songs were incredible. I could not stop thinking about how the plot is the plot of The Rise of Skywalker. It's like beat for beat the plot of The Rise of Skywalker, one of the worst movies of the last 20 years. So this is much better than Rise of Skywalker. If for no other reason than it's like hyper stylized and incorporates Korean in an interesting way, and the music's great. Yeah, I couldn't get that out of my head. That was really bothering me.
But that one I certainly expect to be nominated, and at this point,
it's going to win. I think.
I would think so. Yeah, I don't see anything unless the other awards start coming out, like the Annies and the Golden Globes and all those other awards start coming out and going to something else. But until that happens, I would consider K-pop the favorite.
Right. I think now that Zootopia 2 is like a box office sensation, now I think Zootopia 2 has a shot, but it would be the only non-Toy Story sequel to ever win this category. So yeah, I don't know. K-Pop Demon Hunters, we'll see. I mean, also Netflix like never wins. They get nominated a ton, but they never win. So there's a lot of things going against the movies.
And Zootopia 2 I haven't seen yet. I know you probably haven't seen it yet either.
No.
Right, but I certainly plan to, and I'm glad that the reviews are so strong, so I was going to see it either way. Light of the World, one of the Jesus story movies this year. I know we both watched that one, and it was okay. But as a converted, someone who converted to Judaism, I can just say that this story isn't particularly compelling to me. So it was just like, another telling of the same kind of story over and over again. Animation was nice, though. I thought it looked really good. It was kind of like In Your Dreams. It was not a boring movie or anything. It got you from point A to point B without belaboring too much. And it was solid. I think, if you're predisposed to that sort of thing, like, hey, I'd like a good Christian Jesus movie to show my kids or whatever, like, this one's probably one of the better options.
I agree with everything you just said. I also saw King of Kings this year, which is a different animated movie that's not on this list, that tells the exact same story, but also shoehorns in Charles Dickens telling his kids about the story of Jesus. And that was the way for Angel Studios to get the rights to, I don't think you need the rights to make a Jesus movie, but they got the rights to this Dickens story that he had kind of disavowed and never wanted published because I think he felt kind of silly about it. These two movies tell basically the exact same story, and Light of the World is much more palatable. First off, the animation is way better. The animation in King of Kings is really bad. Jesus himself is way more likable in Light of the World. In King of Kings, I'm like, who would follow this guy? He's such a jerk. He's such a bummer and a jerk. And in King of Kings, he's like an affable, in Light of the World, he's like an affable guy. And it focuses on John, not John the Baptist, young John. I think that was better than focusing on Dickens telling his kids the story. But it hits all the same beats, and it moves past them more quickly. It's just like less cumbersome. So yeah, I thought it was fine. And as far as I also felt like when I was watching King of Kings that I was being assaulted with anti-Semitism, and I did not feel that way watching.
Right. Yeah, I didn't feel that way either with Light of the World. So
right, but I agree with you that it's actually just like not that compelling of a story. I've never seen The Last Temptation of Christ. I've never seen Passion of the Christ, and I've never seen Jesus Christ Superstar. I did watch the Peter Ustinov. It's not Peter Ustinov is in it, the miniseries, and I found that very boring. Also, I just think it's kind of a boring story. So if you're not a believer, there's nothing here for you. But you wouldn't watch this if you're not a believer anyway, or a freak like us.
Right. Because of reasons, yes.
Right.
Little Amelie, or the character of Rain. Tell me about that one.
I was disappointed in this one. This is another French film. This reminded me a lot of Mirai, the Mamoru Hosoda movie, in that it's about a little girl and it's about like her idiosyncrasies being a young child and how the world doesn't seem fair to her. And I found her irritating. The plot really early on is like she thinks she's God. So it's meant to like comment on like that stage of development where everything is about you. But I just found it really off-putting. The movie is beautiful. I saw it at a theater that I think had the bulbs on too bright, which maybe took away from it a bit. But yeah, not as good as Arco as far as French animated movies this year.
Another one that we've both seen, I watched fairly recently. You watched a little bit longer ago. Lost in Starlight. I watched this with my 13-year-old daughter, who was very upset at me and sobbed most of the way through the movie. I hate this movie, because she was just so wrapped up in the love story of it. It's a very melodramatic love story amongst youngsters. I actually really enjoyed it. I think this is, of the movies that I've seen on this list, I think it's in my top 3 of the movies on this list that I've seen, along with Elio and K-Pop Demon Hunters. My two favorite animated movies this year, which we haven't talked about. The 2 that I like the most are not eligible for this: Predator, Killer of Killers, which of course was made for Hulu, so that was never expected to be eligible. And then the best animated movie of the year, and of many years, is Neja 2, which the makers of were just like, and just didn't bother submitting it, so it's not on the list. So for what's on the list, I do quite like Lost in Starlight. Like I said, it was an enjoyable experience to share with with my kid, who we're both obviously at different points in our life, looking back on this movie with it, and she certainly got something out of it. Yeah, I liked it, and I thought it looked really, really good. So much better than In Your Dreams. It, especially for another one that just dropped on Netflix. I thought it looked so much better.
My issue with Lost in Starlight, I agree with most of what you said. It's beautiful, brilliantly animated. There are 3 stories in this movie, 3 conflicts. One is the main character is an astronaut, and she has this complicated relationship with her mother, who went to space and never came back, and she's about to go to space to research what happened. She falls in love with a musician, so there's the love story, and then there's the musician's music career. The first astronaut story is super compelling with crazy stakes. Then the rest of the movie just feels like very low stakes in comparison. Like the musician's career, he faces no obstacles whatsoever. Everyone loves him. Everyone wants to help him. It's a little bit Mary Sue. And then their love story, but just because it pales in comparison so much to searching the universe, just didn't feel as important to me. And I'm like, they're going to be together in the end. So definitely worth checking out. Very cool. I think this one's going to have like a sleeper reputation going forward.
Yeah, I agree. Ooh, the next one, another one that we both saw. I'm not sure how to pronounce this correctly. Mahavatar Narsima?
That sounds right.
just ugly bit of nonsense was also kind of dropped onto Netflix, and I can barely even remember what the story is at this point. I was just so put off by what's the program called? The computer animation program that's used for these movies?
So it's not actually used for this. It just looks like it. When we were younger, there was a computer animation program called Poser, and it made like the Baby and Ally McBeal and other things that like are very uncanny and very plastic, like very shiny and don't move right. The lips are wrong. It's all very uncanny valley upsetting to watch. With a few exceptions, because it's also very clear that this movie features a lot of AI. Like a lot of things move the way that things in Sora move and the way that things in other like generative AI move. Yeah. And I don't think that there's any, because it came from India, the same way that I suspected there might be some AI in Neja, but it's like a much more well-crafted film. Some of the movements in this movie, especially if there's these huge battles at the beginning and at the end. Like there's spaceships that come out of nowhere at the beginning. I'm like, oh, that's what this is about? I'm going to go get high. And then at the end, there's this giant battle between one of the demon gods and this avatar of Vishnu, this lion avatar. And there's a fight between a different demon god and a bull avatar of Vishnu. And those two scenes are very cool, but it's impossible to follow what's going on. And you can tell that there's generative AI crap in this sludge. So yeah, I was pretty upset. And it's long. Yeah. It's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's long. I think it's one of the longest movies on the list too, and yeah, it's difficult to sit through. It's a tough hang. I mean, I do it to myself, but I like to see as many movies on the list as I can. Also, the reason I watched a movie called Night of the Zoopocalypse, which is just a nothing movie. There's really not a whole lot to it. I think again, if you have small kids and you happen to find it on, or if Family Video was still a thing, it would be a good choice from the free kids section for a rental. It's not terrible, but it's just it's so nothing. It's just very nondescript, just a very basic, average movie about a bunch of zoo animals going through some sort of apocalypse. I saw it like 6 months ago, man. I don't know. What do you want? It's not great, and it's not getting nominated.
They were promoting the crap out of this at one of the Regal theaters in New York City. I was like, do I need to see this? What is going on here? And Dan Levy did the music for it, Eugene Levy's son.
Yeah, interesting. I didn't even realize that.
But it's more or less like a French Canadian or a French and Canadian movie that has like an English cast, so you're getting that.
The next one you can tell me about, I know you've seen it, I know you liked it. It's called 100 Meters.
Oh, amazing movie. I mean, yeah. I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm going to tell people to look on our YouTube channel because I did a video about it, but it's dope as hell. Screw it, I'll talk about it.
Yeah, see that I probably whenever it streams. I know it took me a long time to get to certain movies, like the first Slam Dunk took forever to come to a place where I could stream it, but I was very excited too, and I'm excited about this one too. I really want to see it.
Yeah, 100 Meters is directed by the guy who did Angaku Our Sound, and it also has some of that like rotoscoping, interesting animation that Angaku had, and it also pulls a lot from like we want to be great at something that both the first Slam Dunk and Angaku and a lot of anime has. That's so compelling.
Love that. That's cool. I saw another one on the list called Out of the Nest. I don't know, some animals doing animal stuff. It's boring. It's bad. It's another one like I could see it in the free section at Family Video and those sort of things. It's just a total nothing movie. I don't know why they submit these like for the consideration to be nominated for an Academy Award. Like I don't know if that does anything for the movie, like if it helps at all, because like stuff like this is like you have no chance. Like why are you doing this?
Yeah, maybe they get funding from their local government for it.
Yeah, maybe something, or at the very most base level, there's a bunch of lunatics like me who are out there like, oh, movie's on the list, better watch it, and then it gets a little bit more than it would have otherwise. But yeah, it's there's not a lot of anything there for me to recommend.
Right. I mean, most of these things are going to end up on Tubi, and if people are a little more familiar with them, they'll watch them, and then they get the ad revenue. So there's that.
For sure. Oh, and then there's one last one that I have seen. I can't remember if you watched it yet or not. Did you watch The Twits?
No, I'm not watching that.
Yeah, it's not great. I think I gave it 3 stars, and when I think about it now, I'm like, no, I don't like it. Why did I give it 3 stars? It's another Roald Dahl adaptation, and it's just ugly looking, which I know is by design. After a while, it's not fun, and I mean, the main characters, the Twits, they're just mean and evil and cruel. So it's like, I don't get the point of this. Not a whole lot to recommend there. Of the ones I haven't seen yet, there is a couple, I mean, like I said, there's a bunch on the list that I haven't heard of and that I won't see. Stuff like Chainsaw Man or Demon Slayer,
But those are both supposed to be awesome. Why won't you see
I don't know but isn't Chainsaw Man, like I could see maybe and not like have to know, like Demon Slayer, I think this is like the 10th movie or something. I mean, I don't know if I could just step in on this one.
So Chainsaw Man, I think I watched the first episode of the anime, and I would say that it is crazy enough that I bet that the movie you can watch without it. It's like the movie I think is in place of a second season
cool.
of Chainsaw Man. And Demon Slayer I think is the beginning of a new trilogy. We didn't mention that the Indian movie that we talked about is supposed to be the first of 9 movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it 8 or 9?
Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch Chainsaw Man. I'm gonna watch Demon Slayer.
Now, you let me know. Yeah, you let me know, because it's not that I'm opposed to watching them. It's just I was worried that I wouldn't be able to catch on with
It's the
them.
Chainsaw Demon versus the Bomb Demon. That sounds interesting to me.
I mean, it's like it's like Psycho Sid versus Undertaker, the immovable force meeting the irresistible object.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, yeah. Then what else would we talk? Of course, Zootopia 2. There's a new SpongeBob movie coming out. I'll probably see. Very anxious to see Arco and little Amelie. Your review notwithstanding, I still, of course, want to see that. Scarlet is another one I know that has a little bit of buzz on it. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen it, but I've heard very mediocre things, and I have not
bummer.
Yeah, and also, like we've talked about, I'm 50-50 on Hosada.
Right. But those are kind of the big ones from the list. You can check out the list. A lot of these movies are streaming. Some of them are playing in theaters right now, but should be an interesting year. Do you have what you think are going to be the nominees?
We talked about this already. On our animated episode about the Oscars, but yeah, I think it's changed. I think it's going to be Zootopia, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Arco, and Little Amelie.
Yeah, I can see. I'm with you on your first four with K-pop, Zootopia, Elio, and Arco, but I think something like A Magnificent Life might sneak in there. The Sylvain Chomet film. He's been nominated.
It's not getting great reviews.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's stupid.
I agree.
But I know Triplets of Belleville and The Illusionist by him were both nominated, and a short that he did too. That I don't remember. So I just know he has Academy history, so Mike in there. But that fifth slot I think is a little bit up for grabs. I mean, it could be. Bad Guys 2 could maybe sneak into it too if people like it enough. I could see it. Despicable Me 2 got nominated, and Despicable Me 1 didn't. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So yeah. It could happen. It's going to be between Zootopia and K-pop, whatever does end up getting nominated.
For sure. All right. Come back in January when we talk about the ladies, wow, movies directed by women over the last 100 years of film history.